Okay, we're live. Oh, wait.
Are we?
Oh, yeah. We are.
All right. Hey,
It's only been a month.
Only a month?
Only a month.
Okay. Not bad.
Welcome to the next episode of VGXL. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Games. Joining me again is the beautiful Fefer from the channel Fefer. And VGXL goes to PAX East in a week. If you're not already following, definitely give us a follow at VGXL podcast on Twitter or Video Games X Life everywhere else. Or you can follow Fefer
At Fefer on Twitch. Fefer plays everywhere else, actually.
All
TikTok,
right.
Insta, and
With
Twitter.
one S, right?
One S. I don't think I really discussed it, but we got the account with the one S
did.
back, so you don't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One S.
Yeah, a couple episodes, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
Still am.
Oh, I'm glad.
One S. I mean, you can still follow the two S's, but I'm not gonna post stuff on there anymore.
Follow my two S's. Sorry.
I already do.
I know, right? Please don't leave. Don't leave.
We're sorry.
Anyway.
But if you know us, you know this is normal.
Unfortunately. Oh man, but yeah, we got a lot to cover today. A lot going on, so I guess we'll get right to it. But first, hello, Fefer.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm all right. It's been too long since we did the last episode. I didn't realize like a whole freaking month went by since Marvin was on last.
I didn't realize that either.
I know. It honestly felt like gaming news was a little bit slow too, and there wasn't a whole lot I wanted to discuss. But this week has been kind of packed with annoying things.
Yeah. Lots of different things. Yes.
Yeah. So, but before that, like, what you been playing this last month or so?
So this is Mario month for me. So we've been putting on the stash and and the Fefario hat. For anybody that knows me, you're regularly coming to my streams March, so I can play all sorts of Mario games. A lot of the times I do end up playing Mario 2, my normal 20 minute run. Super Mario World, Super Mario 3. Games challenged me to do my own little sort of speed run of Mario 3, so I did. And now afterwards we realized I could have gone a lot faster. But aside from Mario 2 and Mario 3, I did start Paper Mario, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it. It's
I'm glad that you are, because I'm enjoying watching you, because that's I know you didn't really care for a Mario RPG. I think it was just a bad game to stream, like we've talked about already. But yeah, I'm digging what I'm seeing. I'm digging what I'm seeing for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm enjoying it. The song isn't quite as annoying. Right, that's the most important thing for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was too upbeat in Mario RPG, and that's all you constantly heard throughout the whole thing. Or that's what it felt like. And I couldn't. Maybe I'll probably get to it offline at some point. But I'm really having fun with Paper Mario, even though I don't think I'm going to finish that in time for March. So I may have to play that offline for a bit to catch up, and then maybe finish it online on stream. But I'm definitely enjoying it. I love it. I see where that influences other games that I've played before,
Right.
There's a lot of games that are influenced by Paper Mario, and I see that more now. It's just sticking out to me now, a lot of these games.
Exactly. That's why I'm a fan of going back and playing like old games or long running franchises, like playing to the Yakuza series, like we started with 0 and then moved on, and it's like I'm honestly seeing where the stuff that was, I mean, it's hard to remember all of it, but certain things are reminding me that I'm like, oh, this was here first, because you played 3, 4, and 5. Now we're up to 5, and it's like realizing like that uh they took I can see the things they took from 5 and put in 0. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
4.
Mhm.
Like you can see where 4
Absolutely.
4 got its better sub stories. You know what I mean? Like 3 was just okay with the sub stories, and 4 got really good with them. And 5
Exactly.
even better. And then there's the little mini games and stuff and jobs and careers. Yeah, like seeing
Absolutely.
that. So
Oh man.
no, it's cool. And then I didn't play any of the Paper Mario's, but I have played the Game Boy Advance and the DS Mario RPG games, the Mario and Luigi games that came out
Okay.
later
Mhm.
on. And those obviously they take, I mean, all of them, including Paper Mario, take from the OG Mario RPG. But
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
see where like the Mario and Luigi games took probably from more like Paper Mario and stuff like that, from just like the
Mhm.
tone of the characters, to some of the play styles. So yeah, no, it's really cool watching you play that game.
Definitely, definitely. It's been very fun. I've been looking forward to it, and it's while I'm offline, I'm like itching to play Paper Mario, but I'm also playing through Yakuza 5 alongside with you, even though you've definitely passed me. But
Hmm.
it's hard. Sometimes I can't decide on which one I want to continue offline.
Right.
But
No, I feel that all
but
too
I do
well.
tend to choose a Yakuza because I love
I know,
Yakuza.
and this
Like you
one,
said,
like 5 is so
it's
fleshed out. Hmm.
exactly. It's really cool because like you said, since we've been playing along, um you see the progress, you see them growing and how they're changing the different things in each going to each game. And it's really cool seeing that progress.
Exactly.
I love
Sure.
it. I love it.
So yeah, no, that's what I've been playing mostly this last few weeks. We both played Yakuza 4 and finished
Yes.
that. That
Oh
was fairly
man.
short, and I feel like I forgot that I read that one, for having 4 characters to play as this time around, it was really short. Like each segment was fairly short. What
Mhm.
makes that game long
Mhm.
is the side stuff. Like it seems like they made a shorter story, but fleshed out the sub stories.
The
Uh,
stories, yeah,
yeah,
the revelations
and
and
yeah, a lot
stuff.
more revelations, right?
Yeah.
So so yeah, and typically like after 0, I played a lot of 0. I didn't. I stopped doing the side stuff to kind of move on, and I played part 1, which is like again not as good. It's hard. It's hard to tell people. I think I can safely tell people like you can start at part 1, play part 2. Like what even 2 is like damn, like it's so worth playing, but you lose that the quality of life improvements, that they brought to Kwame too, when you start part 3, because then part 3 is like a regression, like you go backwards with part 3. So it's like you're playing an old
Yeah.
PS3 game from 2008 or 9 or whatever it came out, and then
Mhm.
and or something like that, or maybe even 2007. I'm not sure when part 3 came out, but either way, 4 gets better, 5 gets even better. So that's what's good. And then
Yes.
then you can go to 0, and that's where it gets even better. That's where they like really like got solid with the writing or whatnot. But I will say that two so far 0 and 2 are my favorite. They really did really good job with the storytelling in those 2 games. The rest of them are
Mhm.
still good. They all
Mhm.
have their place, but they're not all Yakuza are created equal, especially the earlier ones. But I think
Oh,
moving
absolutely not.
forward, 5 and 4, 5, 0, Kwame 2, and all fantastic like video games.
Mhm.
Where which this how much you enjoy each story is going to be subjective, obviously.
Of course.
um
Of course.
but yeah, so played 4. I didn't finish all the side stuff, but I'm kind of like babying 5 right now, so I've been like doing all kinds of stuff. I put so many hours into part 5, and I'm having a great time. I'm like kind of itching. I didn't play at all today, and like first day I haven't played, and I took a break in a while, so I'm like itching right now to play that. But
I know. I know. And the thing is with 5, it's been a little weird playing on the Steam Deck for me because it was a little wonky at first, but I mean, knock on wood, it's been fine with all the cutscenes because they haven't been bringing in the wrong audio from a different random scene. but the first few cutscenes, they were off, and I'm like, oh, it was a little disappointing, and I'm like, okay, I might have to be switching off on my desktop, but it's been working fine since, and right now I put it to sleep on like the second chapter
Mm-hmm.
with another person, and am in a middle of a long cutscenes and stuff. So I'm itching to play.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that so much because it's like, yo, like they get they they're comfort food on top of
It's
just being
so
fun games.
good.
Yeah. So,
It's like watching my K dramas. Like, I love my K dramas, and this one I get to play through my J drama. You know,
oh hell yeah.
so good, so good. I'd be sitting there seeing the twist, and I'm like, oh my god, what? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I'm totally invested. I'm totally invested. I can't wait to see the rest of it, and then
Bye. Yeah.
obviously take a break now because we did play 4 right before 5.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need a break. We've been doing 2 Yakuza games at a time. So
I don't even know how I do it, but yeah, I've been able to. I can do 2 at a time, but not if they were as big as 5. Like I don't even know how I played 1 after playing 0. It's just that they end so crazy that it's like I want more. I want to,
they do.
So, but
You get
yeah,
sucked into the story that you're just like, okay, let's see what's going on next.
exactly. But I think like once I finish 5 and 6, I'll have an easier time to tell people like which ones you can probably just watch YouTube videos of just to enjoy that story. Because
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
3 was really good. I don't know. I would have to really see what videos they have up there because there's moments in 3 that are just like way too awesome.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yes, 3.
yeah,
Yes.
so it's like, yeah,
They each have their good moments to each of them.
it's
So you
true.
can't
It's
even
true.
rule any of them out to be like, "Oh, this one's the." They all have their moments.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
like, one character will just kind of outshine the others in one game, um, and then there's one that there are kids around, and then you have your moments with them, and there's different little things that you can pinpoint on each of them. One of them, it's just like you're stuck with like a cliffhanger ending. You're just like, what? Nearly flipped out. Well, I freaked out on stream because of one ending, and I was just,
Yeah, from part 2. Yeah, you streamed
yeah.
part 2. Yeah, and that was, yeah.
Freaking messing with me on that one.
That's
Like,
still that like
no,
that has to be my
so
favorite
good.
like story. Even though 0, it's been a couple of years now since we finished 0, so it's like it's hard to say like which one of those 2 is better. But it's like 2 really leaves you like at the edge of
2
your seat.
leaves you.
Yeah,
But 0, obviously, since 0 is the one that I started with, that one holds the place in my heart because, I mean, come on. Come on. Who do you always, obviously, Kiryu, duh, but come on, Majima.
yeah. He's been a badass
Majima's,
forever. Yeah, so
yeah.
I think his story was awesome. Um,
Yes, yes.
but yeah, so not playing today. What I did play today was Diablo 4 beta. I didn't buy a double down. I just pre-ordered it, and I learned that it's not too hard to install BattleNet on the Steam Deck. So that has me excited to be able to play Diablo 4 on the Steam Deck soon.
Oh, okay.
I definitely want to try that before the beta's over to see how well it runs on the Steam Deck, and then if I can even get in. Because after I played and well before
The cues.
yeah, there was a long ass queue to get in, but I will say that nice crunchy visceral attacks feels really
Oh.
good to hit shit
Oh,
in that
does
game.
it?
Yeah, it felt,
Damn.
graphically it's definitely a nice little improvement over 3. And it felt really good. I mean, I haven't played 3 in years and years. I haven't played 3, but it definitely reminded me of why I've liked Diablo for years now. Playing it, but then
Mhm.
when I get to the first freaking boss, I was all hype. I was like, "Yeah, let me kill," and then it cuts me off, and then another 85 Q, and I couldn't get back
Oh
into it. I was so like,
no.
"Damn." That's what sucks about online only games like that. It's like, come on, like like if I want to play alone, I can't just play alone. I have to wait for
That
a queue, or I
sucks,
have to wait
yeah.
for internet to play a game like that alone. So that's the only shitty part about modern gaming like this. But
Mhm. Mhm.
but yeah, then so when that cut off, I jumped over to Exo Primal, which also has a beta this weekend, which is the new a battle arena style PVE game from Capcom. And it's interesting. I didn't know what to expect, and I mean, I knew it was like a third-person shooter. I knew there was dinosaurs, but pretty much it's a PVE MOBA essentially. So it kind of reminds me of like Overwatch. It's very much like Overwatch. So you have five players on a map. You have versus another set of five players. But instead of fighting them, you have so far in this game mode that's available for the beta, you play what's that called? You have objectives you have to do. So it'll be like kill all these dinosaurs and get to the whatever. Then you have to get through like a barrier. So you have to kill the dinosaurs, find this hammer, and then to charge the hammer you have to kill more dinosaurs or whatever. And then after the hammer's charged, like I was able to grab it. Everyone's like fighting, so someone had dropped it, so I picked up the hammer. I was killing stuff. It's charged, and then when you get over to this thing, you have to like charge it up, and then you fly down and like hit down on this big, I don't know what to call it, but it ends up being like a giant switch essentially to open up a barrier. And it's like, you got through the barrier. It'll be, or the other team has gotten to the barrier first. Like it updates you on what the other team is doing, and it does like a Dark Souls style multiplayer when it comes to the other team. So you'll see their shadow, like their invisible outline running if you're in the same area. So you guys are literally playing on top of each other. You're like almost just superimposed on each other or whatever, and that one team is doing their thing and you're doing your thing or whatever. And whoever gets the most points or finishes all the objectives first wins the round. And that's how it is. It's fun. I think that game's cool. I think Capcom has something fun on their hands. It's slightly different than other live service games, and it seems like something that you can have a really good time with. And then it has like a job system just like Overwatch. So you have assault, which is your DPS. You have tanks, and you have support. And where you can heal, and the support will heal your party, repairs, and then you can turn into a freaking dinosaur like Mario, like in the first part of Mario Odyssey, where you throw the hat on the T-Rex. It's like that's how it felt.
Yeah.
So I played like a round of that, and it was cool. I probably played a little bit more over the weekend. But definitely, it's free, so that one's free. You don't have to pre-order anything. You could just download the open beta on Steam, and
no double downs.
Yeah, no double downs needed for this. No Heart Attack City. So yeah, that was cool. That was that's what I've been up to this last month or so. But
nice.
What else? So let's see. So moving on, we have a lot to cover. Call it. Oh, but something I wanted to mention before we really go on is if you're not already aware, Lance Reddick, the guy he's in freaking Destiny, he's in what's the other one? Horizon, for Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, a major character in those games, mind you. He was in the Wire and
John Wick movies.
Yeah,
even
John
that
Wick.
new one that's coming out.
Yeah,
he's in that one.
It's like guys like legendary, and it's like,
he is.
And especially that voice. He's done plenty of video games, and he was in our culture. Like all the gaming sites announced it. You know what I'm saying? It's really sad to hear that. It's like a lot of 90s. People who were famous in the 90s, early 2000s are dying. It's like that's actually kind of hitting hard, like seeing some people we grew up with like dying. And it's like at first I'd always growing up, it's like, why do people care about these famous people dying? Because there'd always be some old actor that we knew nothing about, didn't care about. I mean, a couple here and there, obviously, but seeing like people who were like really popular in the 90s or just around during those times, like we've lost quite a few in this last 6-7 months or whatever. And it's like so shout out to him and his family, really rest in peace and that. But yeah, so but we got to move on. Talking about TV, what did you think of the Last of Us finale?
It was good. It was very good. Now, I mean, if you've played the game, and haven't seen the show, it's not really a spoiler.
Right.
But if you haven't caught up on the show and you haven't played the game, spoiler, mute, 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 mute.
Yeah, you might want to skip this part if you never played the game. If you've beat the game, you know exactly what happens at the end. But I mean, you don't even have to
Exactly.
go over. I mean, you know what happens at the end.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it was good. I mean, it was a great show from start to finish. I thought it was really cool that they dug in on different little stories throughout the episodes. Um, I think it was all well done, and I guess because of how everything I guess it plays out, it's brought up the same argument from when the game first came out.
Yeah, like with
And
Joel, right, and what he did at the end. If you know, you know.
if you know, you know.
But like we already discussed offline, it was very safe. Like it was good. I
Yes.
don't have a whole lot of complaints. It's I guess the biggest complaint is there wasn't enough monsters. There wasn't enough like
Yeah.
clickers and stuff. There was none of those intense moments where
Yeah.
she's cowering, hiding behind him, and and while he goes and breaks one of their necks or whatever. There was not enough of that. There was showed the
Yeah.
people's
Yeah.
side of things, but there was they what made the game great was that there wasn't enough crafting either. Like they could have totally shown them whittling
Yeah.
a shiv out of wood, or finding like of bottle, or throwing a bricks were a big deal. Like
That's
come
true.
on, they could have
Bricks were
told. That's
everywhere.
what I'm saying. They could have totally shown him throwing, like, breaking a bottle or throwing a brick to make a noise, and while it went that way, a few moments of that, like.
They had many opportunities. They did choose a lot of fan service, and they
Keep going.
did a lot of fan service. I'll give it that. So a lot of it was just very, very well done, and it kept to the story. It really helped show the story of the game.
Right.
And that was really cool. That was great. So you're like, "Oh, oh, that part. Oh, it's this part. Oh, it's that part. Oh, that's so awesome." And then you see the whole story replayed out. So as awesome as that was, like we already discussed, like you said, it was very safe.
Exactly.
They could have done a little bit more in regards to adding some more zombies, showing some more, like you said, more of her cowering away or anything like that, showing her progress on it. Um,
But yeah, like it was just a lot of
yeah.
missed opportunities when it came to the actual action and the violence and all that stuff. Like, and that's the part that's like it made me a little bit sad. It was like, for as good, like those were the parts that were like really intense. They stuck to a lot of the main things, but I feel like they could have done just a little bit better when it came to the action, and
Mhm.
gave like
Mhm.
it felt like a lot of fan service without enough fan service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think it was fan service in the wrong spots, because it's like, I guess fan service would have been like more the crafting or whatever, but they could have totally made that work where,
Mhm.
it was a nod to the game, and and the fans of that, while letting newcomers just see like, oh, okay, like if somebody
Mhm.
watches that and
Mhm.
goes and plays the game, that would have then it would have been like, wow, I remember that part, oh, that's cool how they, they're crafting stuff in
Yeah,
here.
exactly. I feel like the most that they kind of showed that was towards the end when he was swapping out the guns in between.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped one, picked up the other one, checked
Yeah,
it.
exactly. No, you're right.
And that
I
was like
noticed
the
that, so I
most that
caught
was
that.
really done. Like, oh look, he's swapping out a gun. It's not
Yeah.
like the unlimited bullets in the gun because to
Right,
show
right.
you that what's going on. But yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so
So
overall,
are you looking forward to the next season?
I'm just like nervous. I just hope they don't jump too quick into part two story. There's a lot of story in between. Um,
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
hoping that I have a feeling if they're smart, they'll end next season. Um, Going into part two, because there's a lot of flashbacks. If you play the game, there's a lot of flashbacks, so they can use that
Um
opportunity to show her growing, through the second season, without jumping into what we all know happens. I know you didn't play, but by now it's been spoiled.
Oh yeah, I know what happens,
What
but
happens at the beginning
yeah.
of part two. So I hope they end the
Yeah.
second season with that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, but or I doubt it. They'll probably do it in the middle because then they probably will have like they'll keep Pascal on for the flashback scenes. You know what I mean? So if we'll see what happens. I just hope they don't start it with that. I hope it's like very late, very towards the end, and that's how maybe they'll do more flashbacks and instead of doing flashbacks in season 2, maybe that could be in season 3. He gets 2 full seasons of being active with her. That's where they can veer off and do whatever they want.
Exactly,
because 4 years passes, so they can cover those 4 years and do whatever they want with season 2, and then season 3 could be okay. Now we're gonna do part 2. You know what I mean?
Because that sounds good. Because they already
confirmed 3 seasons, by the way.
Oh, 3 seasons?
Yeah, they already confirmed 3. They said there will be a Last of Us season 3.
Okay. Yeah, they said it's seasons plural. Yes, extra seasons that will happen. They didn't say how many, but it'll be more than one season to show the second game.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They'll probably end. I wouldn't be surprised if they end season 2 with what happened. With everything that we know is gonna happen. Which means you need to seriously play.
I need to play too. Yep.
But
I need to play it.
But yeah. But moving on, there was I guess I'm gonna skip that one for really quick and talk since we're talking about like zombie shooting. Resident Evil remake reviews all came out today. And apparently it's getting like
I love it.
It's weird. I'm getting kind of annoyed because it's like so the game doesn't come out till the 24th, so nobody can play it yet, if you don't have a review copy. And so right now it's getting like really good reviews, but then of course it's like the same websites.
Oh Lord.
Your Kotakus, your surprisingly Destructoid. Destructoid doesn't always do this, but they are known to do this here and there. They don't always do it, but they're known to have that hot take of a review. You know what I mean? Like that one that everyone, they gave it a 7.5, and they gave it a 7.5 because because it's because it's 2023 essentially. I mean, that's really what it is. Like you're not reinventing that magic that happened in 2005. It didn't reinvent the wheel. It's just too much of the same game essentially. Instead of just yes, we all knew that. That's why people were mad at first at a Resident Evil 4 remake, because the game's been remastered a million times on other consoles. It came out on GameCube, it came out on the PlayStation 2, it got remastered for PC and PlayStation 3, it came out on PlayStation 4. Like it's literally come out on every single system since the GameCube. And so, and not that they're not the only site, like other sites too are saying like the same complaint that it didn't it's so much like the original that it didn't do it. There's no way it could like top what it did back in 2005. And I'm like, that's such a stupid fucking reason to shit on the game. Oh, I don't think it's gonna sell well. I don't like just shitting on it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did you motherfuckers really shit on? I don't think you even shit on The Last of Us Part 1 remake as much as this. Like that with a game that's not even as old. At least 2005 was 18 years ago. Like
Wow.
What I know, right? Which is crazy. I didn't realize that I'm like
oh my God, you make me feel old.
I was essentially living in Cali in 2005, and I'm like, Resident Evil 4 came out then. I could have sworn that shit came out like 2003 or 4 or something like that. Like I didn't even know it was that late. It was like the year before I met you that Resident Evil 4 came out. That doesn't feel that like that. I just didn't realize that's when it came out. But anyway, so yeah, so what was I saying? So yeah, they're like shitting on it because it doesn't bring any of that magic that made the first one special. But I'm like, that's such a stupid reason to shit on the game. Like it's such a stupid reason to dock it for points. Like and then like just throwing those negative terms. Like every other site's giving it like a 90 plus. Well, many sites are giving it a 90. And then you have your little subset that gives it like 80 and 85. But to give it under that, is like the weirdest shit in the world to me. And I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna buy it just off the name alone. I'm like, no, everyone's gonna buy it based off the name alone. It's
Of
Resident Evil
course.
4. Like it's, fucking one of the most beloved games. Like a lot of people haven't played it in years, and according to a lot of other sites, they've only fixed the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and of course, the person who reviews it is someone who didn't even like the first one. Oh, I didn't like. I was never that crazy about the original, and this didn't change anything. Like, why would it change anything? Like, oh my god, I'm telling you, idiotic ass reviews. Like everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it's like sometimes just like really like this is the hill you choose to die on. Like this is what you choose to shit on the game about. That it's.
How did they decide for this person to get the review key? They're like, wait, okay, who likes it? Who likes it? You didn't like it? Okay, you're gonna
Here
review
you
it.
review that, but that's why I feel like it's a work. I feel like that shit's on purpose. Like you didn't like the first one. Well, go ahead, review this one and be honest about it. Like you're not gonna like this one. That's the stupidest shit in the world to have somebody who doesn't like who didn't like the first one to review the remake and just give it the same fucking score. Like just the best thing it has going for it is that it's a really fun game. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like it looks
oh my God.
it looks great and it's really
fun.
and it's super fun. Like so that's like that's like, oh, that's the greatest thing I have. I'm like, that's all you need is fun. The game is fun. I swear, like critics be like contradicting themselves. And the thing is like there was none of that hate for Dead Space. I didn't see nobody talk about Dead Space like that. Like Dead Space or even Last of Us remake. Like I didn't see nothing talking about, it's the same game. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that game's newer. And it still holds up. I don't know.
I don't know. Stuff like that doesn't make sense sometimes. I don't know.
Like it really feels like they just need they're like low on traffic and they need somebody, they need to be that site that shits on the game.
Exactly.
Like that shit just
like, you don't like it. All right. You're already biased and don't like it. Fuck it. Just go ahead. Do your worst.
Wow, they gave Romancevania a 5.
Oof.
Yeah. I had a feeling though. That game. I didn't care for it when I played it though. And that was only a few months ago. So all they could do was polish it. But that's dumb again. So who knows how real that is.
I know. I mean, the Romancevania, honestly, it feels like you can have fun with it if it's a silly game. I mean, with the it's a little dating sim. Excuse me for saying it's a little dating, but like it is. It's a dating sim. You have all the different people you can swoon. You can choose if you want to be a male or a female. A Dracula. And I mean, it's there to have fun with. I have a key because I did back it in the Kickstarter, but I have not gotten to it because there's so many freaking games out, and I've been really stuck on Yakuza.
Yeah.
So that's my fault, but still, there's still a ton of games that I still have to catch up to, and I don't know. I don't know. This is why I can't stand like review ratings sometimes. Like, if there's something that's kind of up my alley or some sort of game, I don't know. I can't take those. I have to take those with a grain of salt because that 7.5, 5 drives me nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so dumb.
It's and then of course the thing that's like even more annoying is that other people who reviewed other remakes like what else? We had a bunch of remakes because we had Dead Space, we had the Metroid remake.
Oh yeah.
Which is just a remaster. Like nobody's shitting on those games. Like that's what I'm saying. Like but this one somehow, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's not bringing that same magic it had in like I don't know. It's like they just
are they mad at them? Are they
I don't
mad
know.
at Capcom?
That's what I'm saying. I have some theories, but I'm not gonna say them here.
Okay.
All right. But yeah. Either way, we can move on from that. And in lighter news, Nintendo Switch has Doug Bowser says that Nintendo Switch has like a few more years left to it. Bullshit. I think that's all like, like they're pretty much saying when the Switch 2 comes out, this regular Switch will still do well for a few more years. That's pretty much what I'm hearing when I see that. I would love for them to just shake it up, do some crazy Nintendo shit, take a giant risk, and just let the Switch be their handheld, and come out with a home console. You know what I mean?
Another GameCube?
Huh?
Another GameCube?
Yeah, exactly. Like just a home console that the Switch interfaces with or something. I don't know. That would be cool though. Imagine it's just the Wii. I mean the Wii U, but like now the extra controller is the Switch. That'd be awesome. Like now you can stream games from there to your Switch, and you don't have. You can take your Switch on the go, stream games to it, and then play your power. You want 4K? You can play that on your TV or stream it from your house. Amazing idea. I wish they would do that. That'd be awesome. Something that Sony could have really if they really would have hammered that, put L2 and R2 on the fucking Vita, and then said, okay, we're gonna we have remote streaming or whatever. You can stream your PlayStation 4 games to your Vita, and then whatever, and while it released games, and just really hammered that, that feature while lowering the price of memory cards. That thing that thing would have eventually been it would have been popular till the PS5 came out. I'm telling you, I think it was a powerful ass handheld.
It really was though.
With an OLED screen,
I'm sorry, we never shut up about the Vita, but I love the Vita.
Everybody loved the Vita. That's why I'm like, it's always such a tragedy.
They gave up too easily on it.
But yeah,
sad.
What else? Oh yeah.
Steam sale.
Oh.
Don't forget to check out the games in the Steam Spring Sale. One of the hot sale items is the Steam Deck with its first ever discount.
10% off, baby. That's
10% off.
That 10% off ain't bad for what's that called? For the more expensive model, because you get like a pretty nice discount. It's like it ends up being what like almost $60 off, so it's not bad. It's not too bad.
It's a nice little chunk off. Yeah.
It comes out to like $570 or something like that instead of the $649 or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, like
that memory is good too. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would still go for the cheaper model with a good memory card, but still, or at least the middle model. I think the middle model is probably better because having that 64 gigs. Actually, you saw how you ran out of memory and everything got fucked up until I cleared it all out.
Oh my god, yeah, that was pretty trash.
Yeah. So now we realize, at least we realize, because you've been fine putting it to sleep, right? It hasn't been doing that whole thing where it has to reload and.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened.
That means that it was from the low memory. All right, so at least we got that figured out.
Oh, you're right. And I have been putting it to sleep, and yeah, no issues.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We can speak to the rest of this. I just want to mention a couple of things, and I want to move on to a topic I want to discuss today. But looks like cult 90s cartoon Toxic Crusaders is getting a retro style beat 'em up, so that sounds cool. Another beat 'em up like Ninja Turtles or.
It looks good. Yeah. By Retroware.
Yeah. So definitely look for the trailers for that. Something that I found really interesting that I just heard today is that Insider Gaming apparently found out that found more information about the Assassin's Creed that's supposed to be set in Japan, and it's going to be a big emphasis on stealth, and it's going to have both a samurai and a ninja in it. And I'm like, that is fire. That's cool. Like that might actually make me want to play that shit. Like you actually get to be a ninja, and a samurai, and with a focus on stealth. That sounds like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I gotta let Jose know because he's a big fan of Tenchu, and that's definitely this might be the closest thing we'll get to a Tenchu game since when it comes to stealth and stuff. So that should be really, really cool. But
absolutely.
And the last thing is I find interesting is Fortnite. I know not everyone hates Fortnite or loves to hate it, but they're coming out with they're refreshing their creative mode called Creative 2.0, which is essentially just uh uh Unreal 5, tool set that people now anybody before you had to like work with Epic to release those things, but now they're opening it up to anybody, similar to Roblox. And I think they're fully going after Roblox. Like Epic sees that Roblox money.
Absolutely.
They see that Roblox is stealing a lot of the children's their audience of children. Because if I'm a kid and all I have is Roblox, I can play every single
Oh
knockoff version of
Lord.
almost any game that exists out there.
Anything and everything. There is a knockoff of it on
When it
Roblox.
comes to like action games like shooters, battle royales, there's a whole freaking Call of Duty clone that looks and plays almost exactly like Call of Duty. Like that's wild. So I can only imagine what like small basement developers come up with now that the toolset will be fully open to whoever, and it'll be monetized,
Mhm.
and it'll probably be monetized better than Roblox, and that'll be Roblox's biggest like Roblox needs competition for that, because up until like I think last year, the year before, you only kept 10% of what you made on Roblox. So if you made $100, you only kept $10,
Mhm.
and Roblox company took 90% of what of
Mm.
your of whatever you made. So you'd have to make like $1 million to take $100,000 home. Like that's crazy. So,
But I mean, you see all those kids getting those Robux and stuff from their parents.
but still, like
They're,
that
they're
means that
still
if you have a
banking of
game
some
making
sort.
a few thousand a month, you're only bringing home a couple of $100. Like you're right, and there's so much money to be made, and they're practically. And now I think it's like a 50-50 split or something a little bit better, or 60-40. I know it's better than what it was, but yeah.
Mm.
So
I
I'm
mean, that's
excited
what
because
Fortnite wants.
that's exactly what Epic wants. The Roblox went from some rinky-dink little web-based game thing to $1 billion company
Yeah.
because of their of letting people make their own games, so and
Mhm.
monetizing them and stealing all that money. So if Roblox says, okay, well, we're gonna do the same. I mean, Fortnite, Epic says we're gonna do the same thing. You can make whatever you want, and you can monetize it. That means that now, like, there's gonna be a shift. And if it's like, all
Yeah.
right, it'll be a 70-30 split, you keep 70% or 80%, or treat it like their other games where, they only take 12%,
Mhm.
that'll be pretty dope, and I'm sure like if
Yeah.
the game is
Yeah.
popular enough or successful enough, they can, I'm sure, take the game out and put it on the Epic store, not
Mhm.
instead of having to go
Mhm.
into Fortnite to play it. Hey, here's, whatever. Last of Fort.
Last of War.
Fully voice acted zombie apocalyptic,
And it won't. The main character won't look like the clunky noob.
exactly, because this will be Unreal 5. No, you're right.
Exactly. Cause that fake Call of Duty on there, it looks good, and then they shift over to the noob character. Like, the hell is this? It just throws you off. It's a
I
big old
know.
clunky ass character.
But yeah, that's enough of my voice. And you streamed today, right? Earlier, you
I
covered a
did
few
stream
things.
today. So today was the mix event. So the Media Indie Exchange event. So the Media Indie Exchange, they've been doing this for about 11 years, 12 years. It started in 2012.
Mhm.
They pretty much they bring developers, publishers, gamers, content creators, they bring them all together, and they help them just kind of mingle. So they have different events going on. They had the showcase back in the fall. They have a bunch of different showcases. They have the um all the diverse, the culturally diverse things that they do show. I was only able to stream the first 2-hour portion of it, but then after that they had the Black Voices in Gaming, and they probably had a like a publisher showcase after that. I haven't checked on too much after that because I did get busy throughout the day, but there are some of the games that were shown during the showcase that I do want to highlight that just kind of stuck out to me. So the first one is a viewfinder. So that one is really cool because you're taking pictures.
Mhm.
You're It's a puzzle game. It's like a little adventure puzzle you're walking through. It felt very much like Superliminal. So you'll take a picture and then it shows you the picture. Then you have to kind of place it. You just kind of like do one of these and then it lines up and then it'll set itself into the background there, and then you can just go ahead and walk over onto there. If, like I said, it felt very much like Superliminal, that you saw it and then you saw this big chess piece. You just kind of look, go back, and then it shrinks down and you walk back up to it and pick it up and just keep it moving. So I thought that was really cool. I can't wait for that. Other than that, then there was Elsie. That one, the trailer for that, it was the completionist, Gerard
Right.
was voicing on there. That one looked really cool. It had some really awesome, colorful, very hectic looking pixel art. So it's a neo retro roguelike. And you're running, you're gunning, you're blasting everything away, all the robots and whatnot. It's definitely take a look at all these trailers also, because I there's just so colorful and some of them have really, really good music to back them up. You can always go to the Media Indie Exchange. You can follow them on Twitter. I actually, if you follow me on Twitter, I retweeted a lot of their stuff today. So you can find their website and take a look at everything on there. Um, Two more things that I did notice. Henry Halfhead, right off the bat, it looks so weird. I want it. You're half a head. You're Henry and you're half a head. And you have to control Henry. It felt very much like a Mario Odyssey. Like, you, instead of throwing the hat, you yourself, a half a head from here up, jump into things and control them. So you can you're helping Henry live his daily life. So you jump into the blanket and you make your bed by becoming the blanket and swishing yourself over your bed. And I mean, that's you have to just help him live life. I want to see more of it because it was just odd, and I want to see what else I can control, what else he has to do, to take a bath, make some food, go to work. I don't know. I don't know. But I can't wait for that. And last but not least, we're mentioning Dordogne. It's a narrative puzzle adventure game. So Mimi's grandmother passed away. She left you letters and puzzles for you to figure out. So, and it has really, really pretty watercolor artwork. Like, the whole game was just, it looked hand drawn watercolor, and it was so beautiful. It felt, you saw all the different layers of Mimi walking through, and during the whole game with these puzzles and stuff that she's leaving you, you're gonna revisit memories from Mimi's childhood. So I think that's gonna be a really nice narrative game. That's you're probably, that sounds like it might be a tearjerker.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
favorite.
but that sounds, I know exactly. We always cry on the stream, so it's gonna be a fun time when that drops. But yeah, they had a lot of really good looking games. I feel like I've wish listed half of them on there, and there's so many on there. But yeah, yeah, it was good. You can always even check out the replay. I did highlight it on my stream, but I think we're gonna go ahead and upload it on the VGXL YouTube channel as well.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yep. I'll
Mhm.
definitely get
Mhm.
that posted by tomorrow,
Mhm.
or whatnot. But yeah, no, it was fun. I was in and out, because I had to do a few things. But yeah, from what I saw, I had a good time watching that earlier, or
Mhm.
whatnot. But yeah, but all
Yes.
right. Um, so we haven't really covered a topic specifically in a while. We usually just go over game news and that's it. But this week, it got rumored by someone that I don't think would just throw a half-assed rumor out there. Like, so far they've been pretty good on their leaks. They're like almost as good as Jeff Grubb when it comes to like letting rumors come out that turn out to be true. They have a
Mhm.
pretty good
Mhm.
track record. I think they have their ear to the ground with enough people that if they post it on their solo website, because they run their own publication, Insider Gaming. But they
Mm.
announced they supposedly there's a rumor coming out that a PS5 PlayStation 5 Pro is in production. Um,
Yeah.
Coming out supposedly for the end of 2024, and it just made me think like do we need a PlayStation 5 Pro? Do we need a refresh? I mean, what what are your
It's
thoughts?
too soon.
Too soon? Why do
Too
you think
soon.
that?
People have barely gotten their hands on a PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And to have another one just come out, half the people already spent all their money on the PS5 since they just finally got it. And they haven't even, it doesn't even feel like any games that have been released are even using all of the resources in the PS5.
Agreed.
So, like, what was it? Um, Miles Morales, Monster Hunter. I don't know Monster Hunter, but I forgot what other game you choose. You're choosing if you want the 4K. If what is it? You want the
Oh, you mean quality mode or
yeah, the
performance?
quality mode or performance mode. Thank you.
Right.
Yes. It's like why not both?
Exactly. I mean that could be so supposedly Cerny, the big engineer nerd, Mark Cerny,
Big
he
engineer.
patented a new tech or some I'm not I think it's like a either a procedure, a new way of doing ray tracing. So the right now the thought is that maybe you know because ray tracing is super demanding, and that's supposed to be one of the big oh, this is what the PS5 can do. It can do ray tracing, but it's like at what cost? You know what I mean? Like you have to either lower the resolution way down or take away graphical fidelity for better shadows. And
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
so I'm sure there's that. But if we actually got from I mean, by then, if we're talking late 2024, we should have at least a solid handful of games. I would like to think that are built from the ground up. Like we have Spider-Man 2 coming, we got Wolverine coming, we got um Horizon Zero Dawn's Forbidden West DLC is supposed to be from the ground up and specifically for PS5 and or whatnot, and we'll have Final Fantasy 16 because that's a next gen only title.
Ooh.
I
Yes.
know it's Square, but still, at least it's a next gen only title, right? And
Mhm.
apparently that
Mhm.
game, like they really tried hard. I just heard recently that remember the whole oh it works best on PlayStation 5 and blah blah blah, and I
Yes.
think
Yes.
what that means and what is being misconstrued, and not that it's impossible to be on PC. I just think that they're not using resources to put it on PC just yet. I think it ultimately will, because why not make more money, right?
Oh, of course.
Why not take those sales? I mean, PlayStation already said they want, they're committed to putting their games on PC with it 6 months to a year after release. So again, I know it's Square's essentially Sony's bitch at this point. Maybe they're not owned by Sony, but they Sony's you know this
They work with
Activision
them a lot.
this
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard deal is going to be tight. We need as many allies as possible. And Square wants to be bought, but I think Sony probably couldn't do it right now. So I think Square's still playing nice with them. Square's still like, all right, well you can't buy us, but we're still gonna do it. Be good to PlayStation. But either
Mhm.
way, 16 is I think only from the ground up designed specifically to work on PlayStation 5 to use this as. So we'll have a handful of games by then, but I agree with you. It's like I mean, it's like it's a double-edged thing, right? So it's like
It is.
we've had a PS5 for almost 3 years now, and I'm like, it doesn't even 2.5 years because late 2020. So it comes out late 2020. We're in the beginning of 2023, so we have about 2.5 years of PS5, and it's true. It does it. I've used it. I've put in some good amount of hours into it. I mean, you have as well, but there
Yeah. Yeah.
hasn't been many of those wow factor games that I'm like, this is why I have a PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy I have this. Like Ratchet and Clank was really good, fine. I played the Ghost of Tsushima upgrade and all that with the DLC, and that was cool. But there's nothing that really has made me say this is next gen. This is what it's all about. The closest I felt like that with was Miles Morales. You know what I mean? That I'm like, it felt crazy to play that. Even though it came out on PS4, it just ran so damn well. And then once they added the ray tracing fidelity plus ray tracing plus performance, it's like it really felt great to play that game. And
Mhm.
not for nothing, ever
Mhm.
since they added Um, Oh, and 1440p now is available in the latest update. I gotta like test it out. I gotta like connect it to my 1440p monitor just to see like if some games look better. And I remember that was my biggest complaint. You know, I got a 4K monitor because, you know, PS5 games look like shit. Like they were looking like on a 1080p monitor, they look like shit. When it lowers to 1080p, it should, the graphic fidelity, like the level of detail should go up because the resolution went down. So it's like, but that it's not designed that way, and that's the shit that pisses me off about consoles, you know, in their current state. But you know, but at the same time, you know, by the end of this year, it'll be 3 years that it'll be out. By 2024, it'll be 4 years that the console's been out. So you know, a mid-gen refresh wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if there were more games to justify it. Like all right, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, because that's the main thing that.
And they'll still be designed for the base PS5. So it's not, so all it will be is a better running version of a PlayStation 5 game. And the thing is like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, like, you know, we talked about a little offline, and it's like it's either they're somewhat trying to compete with PC, even though they're putting games on PC. I feel like they still want people to buy their console and not feel like they have to wait for PC, you know? They're probably trying to stay relevant, you know, to that, because Microsoft's already putting their games, all of their first party games are going to be on PC. You're not really losing much there. They're still getting those game sales. So it's like, I think they want both. I think they want their, you know, and if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. Go play it, wait for it to come out on PC, and you can play it there, or play it on your PS5 if you've already bought one. So I think that's why it's like, now that they have like kind of a backup, you know, on PC for those people who don't want to play a game on their PS5, you know, whatever, you have two options. You can play it early at a slightly lower fidelity than what the Pro will do, or, you know, I mean, and then they also got the VR, you know, that's the other,
it's true.
You know, like a more powerful console will allow better VR performance. So
that's true.
There's that side of the equation as well. Because imagine getting VR with the ray tracing, with the performance and the ray tracing, the clarity, like that could be hot. That could be, you know.
It could be.
Like, I like the, don't get me wrong, like the PlayStation Pro, not for nothing, 4 Pro was worth it, in my opinion. At the time, it was very much worth it, because not being locked to 1080 to 30 FPS was really nice for a few games, you know, where it's like, I remember at the time, that's when, you know, the our son, you know, still played here in the living room. You know, I would be on the big TV, and I had the, you know, whatever, or he would be on the TV and I'd be on my desk, and he would be playing on the base PS4. And this is when we were playing a lot of H1Z1. And
oh man,
and it's like, yo, I'll be playing, and I would turn around, and it's like, yo, it was like the resolution was way lower. Like you could tell it was a lower resolution. It ran at a lower frame rate, and so having the Pro felt like really awesome, you know, to have, like being able to play 4K, true 4K, true ray tracing with high level of detail. I get it. I get that'll be, you know, really worth having. And in a year, if you can get 3080 or 3090 performance, or, you know, a minimum, or even 4080 performance out of a console for $500, that'll be worth it. That's the other side of the coin, is like, I mean, that if you care about fidelity like that, that'll be really nice. Yeah. I do feel bad for the people who didn't buy it, you know what I mean, who just got a PS5, or you know, who will be getting, who don't even know about this, who will, because no other publications talked about it yet. You know, it's a rumor right now. So, and a lot of these blogs do not report rumors. So it's like, I'm torn. If it's like, I guess it'll be good if you've never had one. You don't want to invest in a gaming PC, having a souped up PS5 to run its first party titles at 4K, ray tracing fully turned on and all that. I mean, that's when we're going to see true next gen, you know?
No, it's true. It's true. But this is also just, they're just keeping on, even with like chip shortages and all that stuff in between. They're just keeping, because on the like the same time between consoles and upgrades and stuff have as they have before, right? Because the PS4 came out, what, 2013?
Yeah.
And the Pro came out in like 2016 or so.
Yeah, so it was 3 years. This will be 4 years, a 4-year gap.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, not
it's
terrible.
Just business as usual, I guess.
Yeah. it's like I said, I'm torn, but at the same time, I don't really care because I play most of my games on PC. I think the only thing you're really losing is ray tracing at a higher frame rate. That's what will probably be lost, and that's really it. Everything else, game design wise, you're still gonna get a lot of the same stuff. You'll still get performance mode. If the PS4 and the base PS5 can do 1440p, right? But and have ray tracing on, and run at 60 FPS, and I can't run it at 4K. That's a happy medium for me. I don't care. I'll be fine with that. It's I think it's mostly going to be like, and then at some point in the future, I probably wouldn't even mind investing, in the Pro, depending on the price. Like it really depends on the price, what it can do, how much better it's going to be, and that's only for day one. Like I probably, if they're going to continue coming out on games are going to continue to come out on PC, then I might just be waiting for some of them if I really care that much. You know what I mean? Which I don't know.
Yeah.
There's diminishing returns right now on hardware, so it's like I don't know how much I really even care to get a little bit of better fidelity. Because all you're gonna, like I said, the only thing you're truly gonna get, because I feel like performance mode is here to stay, or at least I'd like to think for their first party games, performance ray tracing is here to stay. So as long as I got that, I think I'll probably be fine. And eventually the game will come out on PC. It'll hit a sale. If it's a game I love and I want to see it look better, and I don't want to invest in a PS5 Pro, then maybe some games I'll just wait until it's on PC and then
play it on your Steam Deck.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, and I'm sure Xbox is coming out with something, right? Like now,
yeah.
I kind of been making fun of this. It's like, what's the naming scheme gonna be? I was like, imagine they come out with you have a Series X Pro. And what happens to Series S? Is like, are you are they gonna have a Series S Pro? And I was like, maybe what they should do. Imagine I could totally see them doing this. They'll come out with a Series X Pro and then discontinue the S and just call it the, discontinue the X and the base S and just call it the Series S Pro. And then just discontinue the X, and it's like it'll just be so stupid. It's like, I don't know. You're gonna. I do feel like that Pro, like that's their Steam Deck though, in a sense. I feel like Microsoft would have been smarter releasing those specs on a handheld. That would have been fucking crazy. Imagine you get a Xbox portable, it plays everything and anything that maybe is not powerful enough, stream it. You stream it on xCloud and play almost everything local, and anything that if you want better performance, stream it on xCloud. Like that's all they need to do. And Microsoft has a you know how many people will buy into that, like a Steam Deck, like a Microsoft branded like Steam Deck like device that plays your whole Xbox library or Game Pass, a non-Xbox titles. It would have to play like Steam games as well. I feel like if you let people play Steam games and Windows store games, which is technically Game Pass. You have a recipe for success, in my opinion. And keep it at $400. You got to keep the price point down. I think they have something. They would have something special on their hands. Where it's like,
definitely.
I feel like people would be more, especially with their bigger libraries coming out. It's like you have xCloud. You can run Steam if you want on it, and the whole nine, and stream from your Xbox if you have a Series X or whatever, and have it do something like that. I think they have something. They could have something great, that'll rival the Steam Deck or rival PlayStation at least, because PlayStation will be the only one without a mobile solution, or at least a great mobile solution. It'll be like what Xbox's mobile solution is now, which is using the cloud. PS Now does work on PC, and you can probably get PS Now to run on the Steam Deck. I just haven't tried it yet.
Forget about that.
Yeah, I know, right? People forget PS Now is cloud-based and you can stream it anywhere.
PS Now is still a thing. Nobody. I wonder how many people use that.
There gotta be at least
12, of course, there are people. So the same people that had Stadia.
Oh, I forgot to mention that in my stories. Yes. Yo, I completely forgot to mention that in the stories today. that I hear. Stadia was on its last little threads was said, okay, fine, we're gonna stop making our video game section, but we're gonna work with other companies like Peloton and whatnot to give them use the cloud technology with other companies. And even those companies were like, fuck Stadia. Turns out that they're completely shutting it down. The business model's not working, even with other businesses. Like, I guess whatever their business pricing structure, whatever, must not be working for these businesses. You know, it's like,
yeah,
like I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, so even that's not working. Like, so this whole shit was just a big fucking waste of time. They had good tech. The tech was there. The resolution is fantastic. It's better than anything xCloud is doing at the moment. It's because you're running the PC version. You're not running fucking the Xbox, Series X version. You're running the console version when you stream xCloud. So any game, so yeah. So if a game runs at only 40 FPS, that's all you're gonna get on xCloud. You're not gonna get a 60 FPS game like what was it the rat game, Plague Tale. Yeah, that was only running at 40 FPS. So if you stream it on xCloud, that's all you're gonna get is 40 FPS because that's all the Series X can do. But if it was on Stadia would have run it at max, at least at a faster frame rate. I don't know about better graphics because they said all that shit. And when I played, I think it was Destiny ran really well, frame rate wise, but it was not at max quality. Like you could see the jaggies, you could see that like VSync wasn't. I mean, not VSync. What's the other one called? Where it takes off the jaggies or whatever, TSAA or whatever, anti-aliasing. There you go.
Anti-aliasing, yes.
Like there was like no good aliasing going on or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was supposed to be like, oh, you're getting the best looking version of the game because they're running it from powerful PCs on their end. And anyway, but yeah,
maybe they needed a reboot on their end.
Stadia is 100% dead. Like that's it. The tech is dead.
It's double dead.
Yeah, it's double dead. Yup.
It's definitely dead.
But yeah, but that's funny. Yeah,
may Stadia rest in peace again.
Yeah, those same people are on PS Now. Like, all right, fine, I'm gonna be on PS Now then. But I get shut off.
I'll give that 2 months.
But yeah, but anyway, but if you're listening to this, let us know. I'm gonna try to put the question in if you're on Spotify or whatnot, and now Spotify for podcasts. We're now officially part of that. Like we're on Anchor, but now Anchor got absorbed by Spotify for they're merged. They got merged. So now it's a new app. Yeah, it's a new app and or whatnot. So now all the pretty much Anchor had more features. What are you doing?
I said we are one.
Oh, damn fool. Anchor had more features, it seems like, than Spotify. I mean, podcasts. Well, Spotify for podcasts, I think it was called. So even though Anchor is owned by Spotify, if you had a podcast only on Spotify before that, they weren't part of the same thing, even though they both on there. So it's like, oh, get your analytics, get this. I'm like, but I have all that. So pretty much all the features that Anchor had are now on Spotify for podcasters.
Oh, okay.
So, not that anybody really needs to know that, but that's just some news on the podcast side of things. And I got an email, and it's like, oh, welcome to Spotify for podcasters. I was like, oh,
I'm a podcaster.
I know, but yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, I mean of the podcast, we are going to be at PAX East. So if you're listening to this before next Friday, we're gonna be there. If you know what we look like and you want to say hello, come say hello. The one or two of you that might even be in the vicinity,
we'll have stickers.
We have stickers and business cards.
That'll lure you.
I'll show
candies for kids.
I'll have spare feet pics for anybody who says hi. So,
you can look at his toes.
But yeah, we're excited. We're super excited. It's our first PAX East. So definitely come check us out, and we're gonna be around. So yeah, And like I said, let us know what you think. Leave us some comments on the pod. If you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment. I'm gonna try to put a question on through Spotify that shows, that'll what is your favorite what is your favorite? What's your favorite PlayStation Pro? I don't know what I was gonna say. What do you think about the PlayStation 5 Pro? Do we need it? Do you want one? Do you care? Do you even play video games? Why are you listening to a video game podcast if you don't play video games? Like, what's wrong with you?
If you're an indie fan, which game stuck out to you from the Mix Exchange today, the showcase, the spring showcase? Talk to me. I like indie games.
All right. I think that about does it. I think we covered everything.
We did.
All right. Well, again, if you made it this far, definitely give us a follow at VGXL Podcast or Video Games X Life, or you can follow Fefer on Twitch or Fefer Plays everywhere else. And it's a great way to stay in shape.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.